Hi, everyone. Welcome to Here for the Health of It. We have a great show. We have Meredith Trout, who is the owner and creator of Beats Barre Studio. She gets into all the things that it took for her to become the owner. She talks about her days at the YMCA, what's involved, and what she does with staffing, what it looks like in the bathroom at Beats, all the parking details of Beats, and how she met her husband. So I hope you enjoy. Thanks for listening. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Here for the Health of It podcast. I'm Dr. Randy here with Dr. Tom. As always, thanks for listening. You can find all of our clips and info on Instagram or Facebook, or we're on YouTube too. Just go to Here for the Health of It or Google Here for the Health of It, and we will show up. For anyone that's liked and subscribed, thank you for that as well. I've been told that we need to ask people to subscribe more, so this is us asking you to subscribe. We have a great show. We have Meredith Trout, who's the owner and creator of Beats Studio on Gervais Street, and you just had your 1 year anniversary of being open. So congratulations.
Thank you.
The first year is the easiest.
So they say.
So just kidding. First year is never easy for anybody. And you're a graduate of Presbyterian College in Clinton, South Carolina, which I love. I want to ask you about that too. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
So tell us how Beats Studio started.
All right. So I was a dancer, cheerleader my whole life. And after I graduated Presbyterian, I graduated with a major in religion and Christian education. So not
Very
but,
fitness related, yeah.
Yes, but I did have almost majored in exercise science because it was something that I really enjoyed and was interested in. But I felt like I had to get a big girl job, and I tried a million different fitness things, and I liked a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I love dance, step aerobics, all the old school stuff, but I couldn't find like the perfect workout. Okay. So after I had my first baby, Rory, I gained like 50 pounds. And I thought, what am I going to do to get this baby weight off? So what I started to do was what I thought you were supposed to do, was run and lift heavy weights. So where that initially got the weight off, I was like running half marathons, and it was a social thing too. I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. Got the endorphin high, but I started having pretty major knee problems, like IT band problems, and my lower back was killing me. So I thought there's got to be another way to do it. So what I started doing was just some exercise research, and I thought, okay, now what is effective, what works, and how can I save my knees and my back, and still get that endorphin high. So I found several things that I've started to put together for myself. So I loved a bar class, but I felt like it didn't give me enough. I loved a dance class, but I really couldn't find a good dance class. And I loved the mat work that focuses on the accessory muscles with ankle weights, which helps get the heart rate up. And I like, in a fitness setting, I like low weights, high reps, working around the muscle. So what I started to do is put my own workout together, and I started seeing like pretty great results, lost the baby weight. And so I had a friend that was working at the YMCA at the time, said, would you be willing to teach your class that you put together for yourself for us? And I was like, I guess so. I guess I can do it. So I got my group fitness certification, and I called the class Beats because I was like, I wanted it to stand out on the schedule. If you look at the schedule, it'll be like, what is Beats? And it stands for Burn, Energize, and Tone Sculpt.
Oh, a little acronym snuck in there.
Yes.
I didn't realize that.
Yes.
What was it again?
Burn, Energize, and Tone Sculpt.
Nice.
So because we're gonna burn it up, right? It's gonna be full of energy with like great music. We're gonna tone up your muscles and we're gonna sculpt them, but we're gonna do it in a methodical, unique, intentional way. So I was teaching at the Y for about 3 years and kind of worked this out, right? Like I figured out we're going to do 15 minutes of this, 15 minutes of this. And the way that we do it now, we have a Beats Express, which is without the dance and 3 bar sets, but we have a signature class with a cardio dance and then more sets on the bar. It always includes the mat work. It always includes the arm series. So, but then I started having requests for private trainings. At the time, I was working for First Presbyterian in Lexington, North Carolina. And I was having babies. I have 3 little boys, Rory, David, and James. And my husband, Roland, was like, I'm just going to build you a bar in our basement. And he was like, girls can come here for private trainings instead of you always going up to the YMCA and whatever. Let's come here so you can be at home. And I thought, no one's going to come to my house and do this. But they did. They did. And I really enjoyed it. And so I got to really learn what, I really loved being with the girls and working with the girls one-on-one and in a small group setting because it helped me. It wasn't intimidating, right? To just come in with just me and it helped them discover that, you're a lot stronger than you think you are.
Today's episode is brought to you by our sponsor, Columbia Family Chiropractic, with 3 easy-to-get-to locations, one in Forest Acres, which is by Trader Joe's, one in O'Neill Court by the DMV, and one in the Northeast by Sand Hills. You'll be sure to have somewhere near you. They offer a ton of services from corrective care, on-site digital x-rays, spinal decompression for bulging or herniated discs, dry needling for injuries, pediatric care, and a Class 4 laser. They accept all your major insurances. And if you mention this ad, you'll get a discount on your first appointment. Check out their website at cfc4health.com or Google Columbia Family Chiropractic. That's cfc4health.com.
And so that also helped me, whereas this started as I'm just helping women work out and let's make this hour that we have together worth it. We're going to do the damn thing,
Yeah.
And so when we moved and then the pandemic happened, all that. And so I started training girls virtually. And so we still have that element with Beats today, but we moved to Columbia in January of 2022. So I had, created this Beats thing in Lexington, and I wanted to continue it, but I really didn't know how. And, I had one Instagram page with tens and tens of followers, right? I mean, just
sounds
tens
like
and
Randy's,
tens.
yeah.
And so my husband was like, this is a great workout. Girls here will love it too. So we have a carriage house in the back of our home in Forest Hills neighborhood. And we tore out the garage and built Beats. And so I just started inviting girls from the neighborhood, and it very organically grew that way. And then after about a year and a half of doing that, I would have, 8 cars in front of the driveway and started getting complaints from the neighbors with the noise. And, you really can't run a business from here, which I understand. So we started looking for spaces, and we found the 1835 Gervais Street location, which used to be Hawk Law.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it was an attorney's office, and so we just turned it into Beats.
Nice.
And so here we are. And so I'm learning every day, how to run the business, but I'm not, I didn't go to school for business.
Yeah.
That the whole business world really is intimidating to me, but I love what I'm doing. I love, being with the girls. I love creating our own environment, but it is, it's super challenging.
Yeah.
And there's,
And it's not how many followers you have; it's the quality of the
It is
ones you
the
have.
quality.
And Spruce Strategies taught me that a lot of people just go creep on your page, but they don't follow it.
Tons.
Like when I looked at your page, I just immediately followed. There was nothing in me that was like, oh, maybe I'll just come back and keep creeping on it randomly. I would just follow. Like it's a very weird phenomenon right now.
Yeah. So sometimes I'll see you, and so I'm learning about the social media world too. And, I'm a millennial, an older millennial.
But you're wearing Gen Z socks.
Well, I have to, I want to appeal.
You want to?
I got to get with it, right?
Right.
But, it was social media when I first started, it was just so you can connect with your friends. And now
Right.
it's become this like whole other thing.
It's how the next generation looks for businesses. It's how they find where they want to go. They don't really even like Google restaurants anymore. They just look at their Instagram page and decide if they want to go.
Yeah.
Were you a part of the poking days, like when Facebook first came around?
MySpace.
Were you poking anybody?
I did not.
You didn't.
You've never poked anyone?
Did you get poked? I used to love
I thought
poking.
that was weird.
Oh, I
That's
loved
weird. Like,
well,
what
I
does that
loved
even mean?
poking.
Oh, when it first came out, just poke everybody, you know.
So weird.
It was kind of a way of saying like, I'm looking at
hey, what's up?
looking at you.
I'm
but
creeping
I don't
on
know
you.
what- I don't really know what to say.
Don't they do like there's a wave now, right? Is that still a
Yeah.
thing? You can wave,
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that. That's
Yeah.
that's on Facebook.
right? Maybe.
What about MySpace?
Oh, I definitely
Yeah,
had one.
I figured.
But listen, this was in the early days, and I kind of got into some trouble with the.
Oh, what? From Tom?
No. Because back in the day, we would post things
Like nudies.
that no,
Yeah, was
taking a
everything-
turn.
You're opening doors that I'm
No,
not sure you
no.
want to go in.
No.
We're in suspense about why you got in trouble. And
I shouldn't have said that. No, so we back. I really did think it was just my friends looking at this page, right? So I would put pictures up that I probably shouldn't have put
Right.
up, of like party pics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I worked for I was the middle school youth director and youth director at Spanish Fort Presbyterian at the time, and then at Mount Pleasant Presbyterian, and so I would put things up that people would see and think maybe I should. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
you
you were a
know.
little too
But now
wild.
I've learned.
Yeah.
Everything's private.
Now the world has access to all those.
Yes.
So
Much
go.
identity.
How do we find those exactly? Like, what do we Google to find those still?
MySpace
I'm
/
sure
Meredith.
it's deep in there somewhere.
Trout,
I'm sure,
MySpace.
no, I wasn't Meredith Charlton. Meredith Batts.
All right, that's
Bats?
what we'll search.
Yeah.
So with your gym, how exclusive is it to women? Like, are there guys like Randy and I
You
popping in
know,
there?
Or
Or would
she
that
said
be
the
weird?
girls.
Here
She
is
said
the
me and the
deal.
girls.
I know. I
5
didn't hear
times.
anything about the boys.
Nothing.
You
Probably
know-
the most discriminatory.
Wow.
Here's the deal.
So much pink. You have to like pink to be here, which is a small percentage.
So, to be honest, guys are horrible at it. I mean,
Yeah.
they are terrible at this.
Yes.
And we are very specific with our mat work. So, the mat work in particular, because we do a lot of hip work and we do a lot of accessory muscle work. And so, I change the routine every 3 weeks. And so it's, you learn it, perfect it, and then perform it for yourself. And so,
Yes.
and then we change it so that we don't, you don't get bored with it. But we sort of utilize that mat in a way that's like 360 degrees. So I've had people say, like, why do you have us moving around the mat like a spider monkey? And it's because I'm trying to hit every muscle, in the muscle, around the muscle, large muscles and small muscles. And so, and we do it to the beat, right? And so I pick out every single thing, like the music, because the music has to correlate with the workout. I mean, it has to coincide.
Right.
And so it can't be too fast. It can't be too slow. And we don't want to do too many reps, but we want to do enough. And whenever I try to put, so my husband sometimes will do it, and I love him so much, but he is terrible at it too. I mean, it's
for
like,
sure.
but it is difficult, and but it's achievable. I mean,
It's
but
almost-
it's not. Maybe did I not answer your question?
Well, it's almost concerning if guys are good at it, right? Like if somebody shows up and they're a dude and they're like, "Wow, you're really good at this."
Well, so back in Lexington, I had
That's true.
our best friends Judd and Emily. He was a jacked guy, like CrossFitter, And he was like, I'm going to come with Emily to a training one day. I was like, come on. And I thought he might die. And sweating. So you can find it. There's a picture of him and after he finished the workout, and his wife was just killing it. And he was like, I think I might die. And so it's just because you're working different muscles than you normally do.
So how long is a typical class?
So we have two. We have a 45-minute express class.
Okay.
And then we have a 60-minute signature class. And so in a perfect world, I would like to do only 60-minute classes because research shows that, 60 minutes is kind of your magic number if you are really wanting to see results in terms of, a lot of people, go to the gym because they want to lose weight, right? So 60 minutes is your magic number for weight loss.
Right.
But, certainly 45 minutes is not nothing. And a lot of times people are like, I'm trying to get in a quick workout. I've got 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's good. It's good. But so those two.
And then what's the class size and how many water breaks do you get?
So I have them. It's sort of like a routine. So we don't stop for a water break. They have their water bottle with them and they can, use
Drink,
it as
just
they
sip as
need it.
needed.
Yeah. So we can take 17 girls in a class.
Okay.
But we are, so we can fit that many. Our typical class size is, usually 10 to 12.
Gotcha.
And sometimes we'll have,
Okay.
Full classes.
And you have all women instructors,
Yes,
except for one
Brandon.
guy and he's a beefcake.
Yes.
He's just
Yeah.
ripped, but he cycles.
Ripped. Yeah.
Like thighs, like quads are great.
I don't,
Totally jacked.
his
He's-
upper body looks big too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, how does that interview go with Brandon? Do you just say like, let me see your quads?
No, he came in on a recommendation.
Oh,
So
nice.
we had the way that the studio works. So, it used to be the Hawk Law building, right? So they had these little conference rooms. And the big room, we sort of tore out and put the big studio. And then the two conference rooms I turned into Beats Babies. So we have childcare.
That's nice.
And then the other one I thought would be a private training room. But what happened is when we have private clients, I just bring them out to the big studio. And so that was kind of wasted space. And I thought, we could totally bring cycle in here. And I used to teach cycle back in the Y, but I thought, let's bring someone in that is, so good at this and would bring like a totally different vibe, but matches our vibe, right? And Addie Thompson, who is one of our instructors, said, I used to spin with this guy named Brandon Sistrunk, and he's amazing, and he makes me want to exercise. He's so motivational. And so I
Really?
just reached out to him and
Nice.
he said, yes.
Did you DM him?
I did.
Or text him? You did?
Yeah.
And what did he say? He's just like,
he was
hey,
like-
how'd you hear about me?
No, I just told him. I just said, hey, this is Meredith Trout from Beats. Addie Thompson gave me your name. Would you be interested in this? We're adding spin. And I said, would you come by the studio and let's talk about it?
Yeah,
He said,
that's
yeah.
wild. Like even
did.
interviews are being set up on social media now.
Absolutely.
You used to like do a phone call or
Yes.
send your resume.
Yes.
Now it's just, hey, you got
just
a good
gotta-
recommendation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
I like the cycle things, and the idea about more of a one-stop shop is nice too, because, and we've had a couple people allude to this, where you go to one gym and you really like what they're doing, but you need to join a second gym or a third
Right.
gym in order to get everything that you want.
Right.
And I think that's where the world's moving a little bit in fitness, because you need a level of core, but you need a level of strength
Right.
training, and you want a level of cardio.
Yeah. But let me just be so clear. Beats meets all your needs, all of your fitness needs. It really does. I mean, it is an absolute full body workout. And, but we also have a HIIT class. So like that interval training, the high intensity, and I brought that in just to sort of shake things up. I used to teach a HIIT class. It's like Tabata style HIIT, where, you're 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off for 8 rounds,
Yep.
8 times,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't recommend that more than like once a week, just because it is so high
It's
intensity.
intense, yeah.
And then, we've got the spin, and we also are bringing a Beats dance class in January.
Have you seen those classes that they're coming out with? I think they're just in Florida, where it's all like hip hop kind of club dance.
Yeah, I love
and they
it.
just play the hits from the bar from like 2001 to 2004, and it's Christina Aguilera playing "Dirty," and they have it's they have the light start. Is that in the vision? Maybe one day.
Maybe we'll see. You know, I want the workout to be fun, because if it's fun, you'll do it. And it's fun to work out with your friends and all of that, and it's fun to go dancing. And so I will certainly bring an element of fun when I train the instructors and when we do the Beats dance.
Yeah.
Do most of the girls have like their background in dance or cheerleading, like they're coordinated in that? Because I envision these dances going poorly for some people. You know what I mean? Like,
So I'll say this. My instructors all have a dance background.
Gotcha.
And so I have picked some of my instructors, right? And but organically found them. And that is sort of a requirement for Beats,
know,
right?
yeah.
And I train the instructors, so I send them the routine every 3 weeks, but we also meet together for a training every 6 weeks. So we're communicating, we're making sure that the integrity of the workout is not compromised, right?
Yeah.
And so where there is a learning curve when you come into Beats, and I would say a 2 to 3 class learning curve, okay? And that's why we always do like a 3 classes for $33 deal, because
Sweet.
I want them to be like, okay, I can spend $33. And then by that 3rd class, it's like, okay, I can do this. I got this. You certainly don't have to have a dance background. But although the dancers that come in, I mean, they love it.
Yeah.
They love it. So.
Yeah.
But I want it to feel inclusive. You know what I mean? I would never want to say like, you're not a dancer, so you can't come to Beats. No, it's for everybody.
Is there anything surprising or like weird about you that people wouldn't know, but maybe your instructors know, or maybe they don't even know?
What? Oh,
Do you want to share that?
different question. Okay, wait. Ask it again.
It came from so
I'm
far
not quite-
left.
Yeah, I
I
had
was
to
not
get.
expecting that.
I was sitting there just thinking.
What's the weird stuff?
Yeah, there's kind of the dance and cheerleading, and you're like really in your lane, but there's got to be something weird or surprising about you.
Okay, so I'm a preacher's kid.
Okay.
And
Nice.
faith is really important to me, but no, I'm not. There's no but. It's just
You dabble in some bad stuff. Everybody
no,
sins.
like, okay.
You had
That
a
kind of
wild,
thing.
you had
Okay.
a wild
Nobody's
time.
perfect.
I'm trying to think like how to weave this in here. I don't know. Weird. Okay, so I am. Are y'all familiar with the Enneagram?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm a 7.
Yep.
Like
I'm a 7 too.
great. We should
Yeah.
hang out. So it's. I mean.
Oh,
Not
no
much
won-
would get
no
done.
wonder
A lot
I'm
of fun. lot of
So
fun.
much
sitting
fun.
here with 2
Like,
7s is so
You're
uncomfortable.
sandwiched.
I love fun. And so, I mean, I've certainly gotten into some trouble, having too much fun. But so I would say, I really have to think about this.
You go down. Do you go down the rabbit hole? Is there any big conspiracies that you're into, or any
Ooh.
like unique things? Like we had a guy on here who's obsessed with Pokemon, and he has Beanie Babies,
Yep.
and it's like a thing that you
collect
wouldn't
anything?
know about him.
Yeah. Do you collect people's hair or anything like that? No.
No, but I'm sure there's like something totally weird. I mean, I will say, okay.
We did have a funny thing where Tom would find a hair and tell people that he was collecting
A
them.
part of our interview process, I snip a little piece of
Yeah.
your hair.
Okay, so that's weird. So what's your weird thing?
Oh God.
Oh, there's so many. I don't know if there's anything that I haven't
It's
really
well,
shared.
everything's normalized at this point.
Yeah.
I think.
I'm really into chains, like
Necklaces.
necklaces. Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you
And
clarified.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I like to have multiple different types and sizes at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, how come
I
you're
don't know
not
if
wearing
that's
one now?
surprising.
Great question.
Okay.
Is that what is it?
She said, why are you not wearing one right now? Or is it tucked under?
No, I just didn't. It just didn't feel right with this
Yeah.
sweater.
Okay. Because I feel like you should
Didn't have the
maybe
right
commit to
length.
it.
Yeah.
Just have
He
my signature move is to have it.
He doesn't like to button a lot of his shirts either. Like he likes to go really low with
Yeah.
the buttons.
Yeah, I'm really into tank tops.
Oh,
Loves that guy.
okay.
Yeah.
Turquoise in particular.
Oh, I'll bring you a Beats tank top.
See?
Oh,
We
that'd
have
be
one
great.
that's
You have
turquoise.
male ones?
I brought y'all some today, actually.
Oh, you did?
Nice.
Oh, I'll for sure wear
I
that.
hope there's an XL in there.
So
Good.
I hope there's one too small. I hope it's a little bit too
Super
small so that
tight.
I just really have to snug myself in there.
Perfect.
All right, back to normal questions.
Okay,
How's
okay.
that sound?
All right, yeah.
All right, but if I
just
think of
needed
the
to-
weird things, I promise
You
you,
just
there's
shout
a
'em out.
million.
Yeah,
okay.
it was out of the blue, but I was
Yeah.
just sitting there listening to you talk,
Yes.
thinking she's got to have something like
I'm like,
shocking.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just met, so I
Okay.
don't feel
Yeah,
like
Yeah,
I
you
gotta
can wait
kinda-
until we're more comfortable before you
mean-
tell me.
Tuck that, yeah. Well, and we're thinking about creating a program called the 27 Steps to Healing. We experimented this weekend with our friend Marcus a little bit from Hotel
Yeah.
Trundle,
Yeah.
and just kind of introduces you step by step to some weird stuff. See
Okay.
where you lay, kind of walk you through the healing process.
What? Wait, are you being serious?
Yeah.
Okay, so why 27
Sort of.
steps?
Not
That's so
that
many
stuff.
steps.
Right. There's just a lot. We
There's
want
a
to be able
lot.
to
It
add
might
them.
be more. Yeah, it might be more. We don't know. That's kind of, well, let's put it this way. We don't know really past step 2 at this point.
Okay.
But we know there's a 7 in there. It's going to be a while to get to that.
Be the
There's
best
yeah,
one.
there's a 20.
Okay.
Yeah. 60. There was a 67 step one
Yeah.
that what's his name? Ty Lopez came out
Yep.
with in the business world.
Yep.
But that just seems too high. 27 feels better.
Yeah, because we can combine some things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the first one so far?
For step 1.
Step right.
Oh, step 1.
Yeah, you
What-
start with step
what
one.
is step one? What is step
It's a
one?
little out there for the healing process, but it's
Mm-hmm.
it's understanding about like if we landed on the moon, kind of where you're at with that. And
Okay.
so yeah, if you see you have because if you don't get past that, we can't even go to 2. That's what we
Mm-hmm. Okay,
realized.
but what are you healing from?
Oh, everything.
Okay.
Yeah, this heals your body.
Okay.
Completely. So if you see why you have to see step 1's tough for people.
Yeah.
Let's get through it.
If people don't work through that one,
Yeah.
it just doesn't open up. There's a lot of blockages we realize, and then we have to work through that. And that might take time. I'm a little concerned about the moon just in general, and that's a whole other thing. Every time I look at it, I get more and more just lost about it. Like I'm not confident in it.
So are you one of these people that wants to go to the moon with like Elon Musk and you know how they don't? There's tours right to the
There-
moon.
No, there isn't.
There's supposedly
Yeah.
that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
See, Meredith, there's a lot about the moon, and that's why it has to be step 1 because we don't know. We don't know where we're at with it.
Mm-hmm.
But
He's way more into the moon than me. I don't care about the moon at all.
yeah,
Never thought
it's just
about it,
sometimes
zero.
don't you ever look at it and go, "What's going on there?"
Not really.
Really, you never.
No,
do
I feel
that?
like I have enough going on.
Yeah.
Just this,
take 'em.
in this little space that I really don't
You
have
just
time to
kinda
think
keep
about it. But if
moving
there's
through.
major moon news, I
yeah.
definitely want to know about it.
But it would.
Yes.
So, but here's I think where he's going with it. But
Okay,
this
You
may
let's
never
not
know.
be.
You
Okay.
never know. But yeah, let's
So
see.
there.
Bring
so,
it back.
So like back in the day, we were saying how bad Teflon is for you.
Yes.
Nobody believed us. Everybody said that's insane. Now it's illegal. You can't sell it anymore because it's so bad for you.
Right.
We were saying fluoride that they're putting in the water is a neurotoxin. You got to quit that.
Okay.
And everybody said that's crazy. You're going to destroy your teeth. Now
Mm-hmm.
they're pulling it out of the water.
Banned in
supply.
most countries.
Yeah, banned in most countries. And it was the same with mercury in the dental fillings. We were saying you don't want to have mercury in your mouth. If it needs to be in like a hazmat thing when they or a toxic waste when they take it out of your body, it's probably not good to have in your body. So
Right.
they're all a little out there at the time. Even sugar. I remember in 2010 I was doing a workshop where I was telling people that processed sugar is bad for you, and I had nutritionists and dietitians in there saying they were going to report me to the board,
Yeah.
that I'm spreading lies, that I'm telling people things that are dangerous
Yeah.
because you need sugar in your diet.
Yeah.
And this was all in the even the food guide, which used to be you need 10 servings of grain a day, and you need to have milk, and you need to have sugar, and all that. Remember that back in the day?
Yeah.
And it was great. And now it's basically flipped upside down after everybody's got sick and realized the food
Yeah.
guide was bought and paid for.
Yeah.
So yes, I think what he's saying
Is that
which
where
he's
is
correct.
was that kind of where you were going with that?
There's got to be an openness. See, if I throw out something wild like the moon, and the person shuts it down right away, they're not ready. But if they're like, "Tell me about that. Did we
Yeah.
land there? Did people literally land and communicate back to planet Earth in 1969. And then we go from there. Because if they're open, then they're open to some other weird shit in the healing journey. That
Okay.
at first
so
seems weird.
I feel like I'm kind of picking up what you're putting
Yes.
down.
Say it back to
Okay.
me. Say back to me what you're
For a
hearing.
minute.
And the people will know that this is you might be a part of the step process here. Is anything landing?
I understand. So but I feel like the moon is not the issue. Like that's not really what we're talking
Right.
about here.
Right.
Okay,
It's
that's
not.
not. So this
Right.
is underneath. So the issue is not the issue. So what is the? You know what? Say what you want. Ask me what you want to ask.
All right. Here maybe this will go another
right.
direction. Let's use religion.
Okay.
Right? Your dad's a preacher.
Yes.
Okay. He says something out there to somebody in the jungle that has no clue, like they have multiple gods and all this stuff, right? He's got to say something that's going to shock them. And if the person's not open to it, the jungle person, you can't move forward. Does that make sense?
It does.
And nobody's right
But-
or wrong necessarily.
Although,
Does that make
we were
sense
going back
to
to
you?
normal questions.
Just said it does.
okay.
No.
So, all right. Well, he's not a missionary, but I see what.
Yes.
But I see what you're saying. So, and we're Presbyterian. So, I feel like we're pretty.
Are Presbyterians not
I don't know
missionaries?
any-
No, there definitely are, but usually, usually you're a missionary pastor or a.
Or a Presbyterian.
Or no, or you know,
Local guy.
no. But listen, so I understand what you're saying about the shock value, but and that like attention, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I think like that slow and steady like example, the way that you speak, you know, what are your fruits? You know, what is, you know, that is I think longevity, the long game.
Sure.
You know, and maybe we're not talking about the same thing.
Hey, nobody knows what we're talking about. You know what I mean?
Well, I think he's saying he doesn't want to play the long game. He wants to
Okay,
find out are
you
they
don't-
open or not right
yeah.
off the bat.
Okay.
And if they're not open, we're not going to waste time on it.
Okay.
If you are open,
We say
then we
"Thank you,
discuss all the things.
Next.
Oh, well,
You know the jam.
I do.
I don't know that.
It's a good jam.
You
Yes,
don't?
you do.
Ariana
Give a dance
Ariana
to that?
Grande.
Oh,
We-
you guys for sure
I
use
don't know.
that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
See how that came full circle?
I don't know anything about Ariana Grande.
Well, they do dance moves to it.
They do. Yeah, yeah.
really? Who has the best beats for beats?
Oh my gosh. So I use a lot of I do use Ariana Grande, Dua Lipa.
How did you know that? Did you hear that somewhere on her?
It's like an old
Yeah.
popular song, big guy.
It is.
You've never heard "Thank You" next?
No, I have no clue what that is.
Wow.
But I know Britney. You know who I know is Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera.
Yes.
From
Okay. And
2002.
we use Britney a lot more than we use Christina because Britney has, you know, she went through that sort of dark, you know, that
Yeah, that really gets you in
Yeah.
your feels.
oh my gosh, absolutely. And we use
Like "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time."
Oh,
that one's
So
actually
good.
kind of too slow
Oh, okay.
to
You gotta
use.
play the
Although it's a
faster
good,
version.
it's a
Toxic?
good jam. Oh, Toxic for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So in the class, I try to have a good mix of like hip hop, pop, techno ish
Yeah.
beats, right?
And
Just
country?
you know what? No,
No.
no, fast country.
no.
Like
Yeah.
Morgan
And
Wallen.
mostly-
I
You
was
like
just looking at your
techno country.
Instagram.
So we would use Morgan Wallen for like a cool down song, or like if we're just playing music in the studio.
Yeah.
But it doesn't meet the vibe. You know.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Good. The whole
I'm offended, but no problem.
Okay. Well,
the whole 27 steps to healing was made up too. Just so
Okay.
we're just
'cause I thought that was too many steps.
yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
So-
was more of a joke.
Yeah, but we like to run with
really.
things like
Yeah.
that. And
Okay.
it could
But it
turn
might
into
turn
something
in-
real.
yeah.
So now it's back to being real.
Okay.
We're gonna work through it.
Okay.
All right. Back to this. First year in biz. Talk us through like any issues, like contractor issues, shower problems, floods,
Competitors.
wind, competitors, staff not showing up, smells.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So when I first opened the studio, I was like, what am I doing and how do I do it? And because because I had the workout part, right? I was like, I got this. But like managing people and schedules and everything and building maintenance has certainly been a challenge. Although I will say, I think finding the fit of my team, right, of my instructors, and I have learned the questions to ask now when I interview a girl to come in that either wants to work for the front desk or the Beats Babies or as an instructor. And so I can now confidently say, this is what we're looking for. This is what I require. We require to be a part of the team. You know, do your, you know, do you
Core
your qualifications? Yes, you know, fit with us.
Yeah.
And so that way, because I made some hasty hires at first when I first opened.
Yeah.
Because I was worried that we wouldn't have enough or whatever. And my gut told me this is not the right fit, but I did it anyway. And it was worse.
Oh, we've been there.
It was worse.
We've been there.
You know?
that.
And I thought, oh, I'm not going to do this again.
Yeah.
So, and
Do you want to give them a shout out or no?
No, I'm no.
No, all right.
But and also too the parking.
That's a massive
promise you, that is such a thing. So because we share with 2 other businesses, and you know we'll have a flood of people and then no one, right? And a lot of times girls are rushing in for class, and so they park. They may not look at the sign that says the other business, and you know we have Beats parking, and we also on the street behind the studio, all this stuff. But if they're running late to class and they park somewhere else, and then we get the phone call, and then it's like, please don't tow the girls. And so we try to make sure that we're very, you know, and we also share a space. Like we're right next door to EQ.
Yeah, they're new,
too.
new spot.
And so, but they've been you know, we have not fought over parking or anything like that.
Yeah.
So.
How many total spots are in the lot? Just total for all 3?
20?
No.
15?
No.
I know.
We have a 17-person class.
Well,
And staff.
I know. Yeah, no, it's definitely, oh, I have a cramp. It's definitely dehydrated. You know, it's
Yeah. No, it's hard.
challenge.
No, we're with you. That like when we look at buildings to buy, that's one of the main things we look at is parking because of that very reason. And they're hard to find like standalone buildings with lots of parking.
We passed on so many amazing buildings because they didn't have enough parking.
Right.
Yeah.
We looked at several and we finally found one like this one because it had the most parking. And I wanted to be close to where I wanted to be close to my house so I could zip up there. And, you know, actually we passed on Bull Street. So they reached out and said, we'd like to have, you know, some fitness studios.
Yeah.
And I initially said yes. But then when I realized the parking situation, I thought it would be too much of a challenge.
Right.
It won't be, I think, in the future.
With
but
the parking garage.
you know, I'm not, you know, just to get people to come to your gym, to come to your studio, whatever. It's like there's lots of obstacles. It's like whatever. And so I just didn't want parking to be an obstacle.
Sure.
I had a friend, his name's Kenneth. He said he moved to Louisville, Kentucky, and he said he joined Orange Theory. And he was like, he's like, I quit because he was like, I was in the orange zone before I even got through the damn door, trying to run to make class, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's an issue.
It's such a good point because everybody's looking for reasons to not work out.
Right?
You know, and then
They
you get somebody pissed off about something that it's
Yes, I want them
gone.
to be, you know, people are walking in the door and you don't know what they're carrying with them, right?
Right.
And so I want them to have like the best workout experience. I want the girls to be friendly when they walk in the door, and I want it to be like, yes, like I'm here. I'm so excited to work out.
Yeah.
And so, you know.
Yeah.
Have you ever had anyone request taking photos of them for their Instagram during class?
Nice.
Usually they don't ask; they'll just do it. And so, and which is fine. I mean,
You don't mind it.
I don't mind it, but I also want to be careful too about like if I record something in class, I'll let the girls know, and I don't tag anymore without their permission, just because I don't know. I just
People are vulnerable. We
don't.
talked about this on a show.
Oh yeah.
Or you might have, or they might be like cheating on their gym.
Ooh.
You know what?
Gym.
It happens.
For sure it does.
It happens.
There's a lot of secret workouts.
Yeah, little mistress gym.
And so
Oh, I like that. A mistress gym. That's a good.
you know, I think a lot of people cheat on their gyms with Beats.
Yeah,
You know,
you guys are hot right now.
And so-
You're so hot.
So, but what I think, but I would like to move away from being the mistress to being their
main piece.
their main.
Yeah, the main piece.
Yes, because we do meet all their needs. But, you know, I think so. There was one time where there was a girl that kind of set up her tripod, and I.
Yeah, what do you do?
You know, here's the thing. I let them because even.
Just tell them to tag you. Yeah, I think just
I don't
if
know.
they were going to promote you.
Yes, hopefully they're.
Right. I think that's best case scenario is people are putting photos of themselves at your gym.
And tagging.
Yeah. So I need to start doing more of that. Like there's a gym. My favorite gym in New York City is called Dance Body, and Katia Price is the owner, and she has in her studio like all these little selfie mirrors that girls can take a picture and do all that.
Oh,
We don't do that, but I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good idea. We might need that here.
Yes,
Just good
and it's
selfie
a
mirrors.
backwards one, and it has a little thing, and they can
yeah.
take a picture in it, but it looks like
You can read it.
Yeah.
Mirror image, nice.
yes.
I have a food question.
What's up?
And this might turn into a segment at some point.
Okay.
If we ever get sponsored by a restaurant
Or by Beats Studio.
or by Beats
Yeah.
Studio or anyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know. The question might change. But
Okay.
my question for you is and I heard this on a different podcast, so I have to give credit. What's the weirdest thing in your fridge?
Oh, well, you know, I have 3 boys. Okay.
Oh, so you have breast milk that's 5 years old.
We do have like chicken wings that are like really old. Like so yesterday, my son, who's 15, like took 2 bites of these like spicy chicken wings and like didn't wrap them up, just put them
Just
right
set it.
there. I mean, they're right there.
On
So
the
this
shelf.
morning I'm opening their refrigerator and I was like looking for, the coffee creamer. And I was like,
Half-eaten
Gross.
chicken wing.
gross.
Oh, I would do that.
No
for sure.
container.
That's not
no
weird to me.
container.
That's normal.
Like, it's gross.
Is it on a plate or is it just sitting
It's on a
right-
plate. No, it is on a plate.
He's great.
But it's
Directly
Covered
on.
all
yeah,
his
and
bases.
it like smelled too. Like I was like, oh, God, okay, it's so early and too early for chicken.
Yeah, what would be weird? I'm trying to think of what else would be weird in there.
So tell the weird stuff.
Aloe vera. I think we have aloe vera in there.
Oh, that's not weird. That's not weird at all.
Yeah.
Because then like it's cooling, so you put it on your burn.
Yeah, I don't know what else.
We do. I did have some elderberry syrup,
Extra,
that I would
yeah.
make the boys, and they would act like they were throwing up when they had it. And
Oh,
so
you made your own elderberry syrup?
no, no. But I bought it at like Whole Foods. It has to be
Yep.
refrigerated.
You can make. So if you make your own, it's way
I know,
cheaper.
and there are people that do it.
Yeah, my wife makes it all the time, but it's a massive. She makes a massive amount.
Yeah.
She said you can buy like $10 worth of elderberry, and it makes hundreds of dollars worth of the elderberry syrup.
Oh, cool.
So if you have 3 boys, you're probably just
Whacking
who
and
knows
stacking.
what they're getting into.
Yeah.
They need all the immune help they can
They
get.
do. They absolutely do.
What's something about a 15-year-old boy that you didn't expect?
Oh my gosh, everything. So
Testosterone just oozing
everything.
out of your
It's
house.
so much,
Hair.
y'all.
Hair.
I
The amount that he eats.
So I have a sister. My mom had sisters, and my dad had sisters. So like I grew up girls. I love girls, girlfriends, everything. And so when I found out I was pregnant with a boy, I cried. I mean, I cried for maybe 3 days
Really?
because I don't know anything about. I mean, boys are gross.
Yeah, but your husband had to be pumped.
Right. He was pumped, and he still is. And so he was like every time I was like, yes, another boy. No, I love it now. But boys don't talk about their feelings. So for a long time, I thought boys just didn't have feelings.
Yeah.
That's actually not true. They have feelings. They just don't talk about them.
Right.
And you kind of have to, what's going
Right.
on today? And so you really have to pay attention to their mood and how they speak to each other and whatever it is. And then you can maybe ask a question, but they're in constant motion, right? So like if I can get them in the car without a device or whatever, and I'll be like, hey, tell me about this. Tell me
Yeah.
about that. They'll do it. But it's a lot, they move. Also, we can't have anything nice in our house because they break it.
Yeah.
We've, the lamps, those are,
Gone.
well, I replaced them, but there's stains on the carpet, like on our very nice, expensive, Persian rug.
Yep.
And I'm not going to replace it yet. I've had the carpet cleaner in there like 2 or 3 times since we
Yeah.
moved.
I remember. Well, you had a lot of boys in your
yeah.
family. I had 2 younger brothers, and I remember putting hockey pucks through our garage door, and like it was funny until my dad saw it. Lost it.
And boys, y'all do stupid shit all the time. And it's like, it doesn't stop. So David is our middle, and he kept saying, this is a year ago, and he was like, hey, my ear hurts. And I would look and I'm like, I don't know. And then he finally was complaining so much. I was like, let me look in your ear. And so I took a flashlight and looked, and I was like, there was a giant silver bead that he had put in his ear.
He didn't mention it.
And he did not.
No.
I was like, hey, do you have a fever? No. And then when I was like, David, how did that get in here? I was like, oh, we were playing with manipulatives in school, and I put it in my ear, but I thought maybe it fell out. Like it was like not a part of the conversation. And then finally, not until there was evidence and, a $5,000 surgery later because they couldn't get it out.
No
And so
way.
they had to put him to sleep and surgically remove the bead from his ear.
Wow.
Yeah, I still have it. I still have the bead. I kept it.
That's amazing. I mean, the
Like a
things
little
that we used to
bracelet.
do. We
Yeah.
made our cousin Sam drink. We told him we'd give him a free Slurpee if he drank a whole bottle of river water,
Oh.
and he chugged the whole thing.
See, this is why I cried.
But here's what's funny about it though.
What?
There's a second part of the story. There was 5 of us, so my 2 brothers and then my 2 cousins. He drank the entire bottle of river water. We were floating down the river in a tube, and his mom was she was so mad at me because I was the oldest one, and I was and anyway, she prayed over him constantly because she was freaking out that he was going to get every type of bacteria and parasite and disease.
Yeah.
Everybody else got diarrhea except for him.
No.
He had no issues.
He had no issues. It was those prayers. I'm telling you.
and he got a Slurpee.
It
I know.
was. And he had a Slurpee. Okay.
To that day, I believe that because it made 0 sense for him to be the one that drank it all and not get sick.
Okay.
Now, would you say you're more holistic in your approach, like at home?
Approach to what?
Health.
So everything is connected, right? So like your spiritual health, your mental health, your physical health.
I hear it.
Oh,
We good?
yeah. My sound just went gone.
You probably like unplugged it somewhere.
Oh.
Up here.
All right. Can you turn me up a little bit and see if it works? Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, you just turned me way down.
No, I turned you down a little.
Oh, okay. All right, back to our regular schedule
And we're not
question.
cutting that out.
We're back.
Everything's connected.
Everything's connected. So spiritual health, physical health, mental health. And so what I have found is like you can't have one without the other. And I really do believe that. So there's, my husband always talks about like the buckets. Like you fill your bucket. How many different buckets you have? Your family bucket, your friend's bucket, your job bucket, your this bucket, whatever. And my problem, I feel like, is like I can't fill all the buckets the same at the same time.
Yeah.
Usually one is depleted and one is overflowing or whatever it is. But I just think it's really important to have a good community. Like we have good friends and a good neighborhood, and we go to downtown church. And that's a good little faith community. And then
Does your dad like it?
yes,
He
but
approves?
he's definitely more traditional Presbyterian,
Yeah.
and downtown church is definitely I don't want to use the word progressive. It's just more
Hip.
but it's not
Contemporary.
It
looser.
is, but it's not. Like, when I think of contemporary, I think of like, the smoke machines and the all the praise. It's not that. This is not that. Right.
Yeah.
So it's still, the liturgy is still Presbyterian. It's but it's definitely, the vibe is totally different than your downtown, your first pres or like church, which is not, one is not better than the other. It's just
Like one you have to iron your shirt for, the other one
absolutely.
you don't.
That's
good
a
about that.
perfect example to say.
Love
Yeah.
that.
Do Presbyterians don't like smoke machines?
No.
Is
As
that
a rule, that's
probably one of the, like-
we're decently and in order people.
Okay.
So no smoke machines. But I would say, in terms of, I try to, and the boys too, it's what I want to feed them a lot of times is not what they want to eat.
Yeah.
And they want chicken nuggets and chicken wings and French fries and all this stuff. And they don't, I'll try to get the vegetables in there, but yes, definitely holistic.
Yeah.
In
Nice.
every sense.
Nice. Good.
Which of those buckets is the hardest to fill for you?
Rollins.
Totally. It is totally, that's so funny you said that.
She didn't want to say it, but you had to say it for her.
definitely
I could see it over there just empty.
It is. Y'all, we have had this like total role reversal where, he is, he's an attorney, he went to law school.
Yeah.
But he is not a practicing attorney. He came home halfway through law school, and this was in Charleston, and he was like, I don't want to be an attorney. I was like, cool. So,
Of course.
I was like, do you want to finish? Like, what do you want to do? And he was like, I'm going to finish the degree, and this is going to help me, but I'm going to do something else. And it has worked out. He's in sales now, and he's started some companies.
Nice.
He's very entrepreneurial. But when I was working at the church and doing all the fitness and having all these babies, I felt like I was doing everything. And I was like, buddy, I need you to help me here. And he was like, well, I'm really trying to establish my professional career, all this stuff.
Yeah, he's got
and
golf.
Now,
he's got other
right.
He's got stuff
But he really was good about that. Like okay. And
Don't get her started on golf.
listen, no. Oh. No, and my dad's an avid golfer too. So I'm used to the golf. I'd rather that than like the hunting thing where you're gone for days.
Yes.
So
You're doing it all.
yes,
he's
but
trying to
now
establish.
I like how you compare, though. 5 hours of golf is no big deal compared to 5 days of hunting.
it's true.
I think guys should use
true.
that more.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And but now it's like been a total role reversal, because as I'm trying to establish this business, establish this brand, I mean, I am working, and he has kind of he takes the boys out to the baseball field. He takes them, does all this stuff, and so we have really, changed, But I'm reminding him like, hey, do you remember when they were babies and like I did everything?
Right.
So hey, thanks for doing everything now.
Yeah.
So that's
Nice.
kind of funny.
How are the amenities in the locker rooms? And is there a men's locker room?
Okay, there's not. And we have there's no locker room. So we're boutique fitness,
All right.
right? And so when you come in, we have a bathroom, several stalls. I have perfume and
Like anybody can go in the
all the
bathroom.
things.
Like they're single shooters.
anyone can go into the bathroom. So
Even
this has
Brandon?
been- So this has actually been a little bit of a thing. So we share, a space with an e-commerce store. Okay.
Yeah.
And there was
Like Shopify?
They just
Shopify
sell stuff
thing?
online. No, they
What
just
does
sell
that mean?
stuff online.
eBay?
it's called Women Shops World. Women,
Oh.
they're
Okay.
But
anyway, that wasn't
in
part of the
e-commerce,
story.
yes,
You got me with
and-
e-commerce because I
okay.
didn't know what that meant.
Not e-commerce. Wait, not e-commerce. What is it? Yeah, it is. No, it is. They sell like jewelry and all these
anything
things.
sold online
Yes,
is
yes.
e-commerce.
I got it. Okay.
And but there was an issue with the bathrooms, right? So there's men's and there's women's, but they were used to like sort of having their own space, and now I bring in a lot of girls, and then it
Right.
was like weird, So now it's separated,
Yeah.
and we just have one women's bathroom, and then they use the other one.
Oh,
So-
Oh, I see.
Yes. so that we're
So
not.
where's Brandon going to the bathroom?
He goes into the women's, but we're gonna change.
Wow.
Listen, we're gonna change the little women's sign to like unisex.
Yeah.
So it'll be like all people, but just maybe won't go in one at a
Nice.
time if there's a
Nice.
if there's a man there.
Any like hand towels, mints,
hand towel.
perfumes?
Yes, all of those
Got
things.
all that. Nice.
Yes.
Blow dryer.
You have to bring your own. But I could totally do. We don't have showers.
Good mirrors.
Yes,
Okay.
we've got mirrors everywhere.
Nice.
How did you decide on a good mirror?
So I knew. You're talking
mirror
about for the
guy.
bathroom or for the studio?
Well, both. I just don't know how to analyze them.
So we in the studio, you have to have a full length mirror, right? And because you want to be able to see your body when you work out and kind of check your form, so you can see it from all sides, right? Like, okay, yes, I'm doing what the instructor is doing. This, so they have to be floor to ceiling,
Yeah.
right? So you can even when you're on the mat, you can kind of see. So I knew what size to use.
Okay.
That's it.
Don't some make you skinnier and some like look a little bigger?
Ours are equal.
There's normal.
Neutral.
There's neutral mirrors. There's no skinny or fat mirrors.
All right. Let's talk about merch.
Okay.
That looks nice.
Thanks. I brought y'all some too.
What all are you making these days? How was that process? What'd you decide on for your first pieces, logos, the whole nine?
Right. So again, this is like so organic. We had a graphic designer just do beats for us. One of my husband's friends, and I thought, oh, this would be cool. This is great to put on a shirt, but it's not. I actually don't have it on right now, but it's like that fun Beats. Yeah, our little logo.
That guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
this guy
Yeah,
right
yeah.
here. Yeah. And so I wanted to do tanks first. So we just did tanks. And this was back in Lexington, North Carolina. And so we just did
Carolina.
Razorback.
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
So we just did Razorback tank tops. And then when I like to use Bella Canvas or
Yes.
there's one more that I use.
New level.
Yes. And those are the ones that seem to be the most comfortable and the most durable.
Yes.
But I had to go through a couple that weren't.
Yep,
right?
we all had to do it.
So
Then you learn.
then you learn. And I actually use a local company here.
Image Inc.
Yes.
I just know everything. I know all the steps that I went through all these
Yeah,
steps.
see, you know. And I wanted
Yeah.
to be able to pick it up locally. So we did tanks, we did crop tanks, and then not everybody likes the crop tanks. So then we did like the Razorback one. You can tie it up or not tie it up.
Yep.
Then we use sweatshirts. So I like a crop sweatshirt, or we have a big hoodie, that you can put on. We have the hats are fun.
Socks.
Socks, and the socks are new because again the Gen Z thing. I was like, oh, that's cute. Let's put Beats on there.
Mm-hmm.
So and then we have some leggings in the studio too, but I've been trying to get in with Viore.
Yeah.
But they are so backed up. So they were like, yes, but not until the spring of 2026.
Wow.
I know.
That is wild.
I know.
That'll come fast though. They'll be in before you know it.
We'll see.
You could be Beats by Trout. You know how there's Beats by Dre?
Oh.
I was just thinking
Yes.
you could do Beats by, and then you could
Beats
do whatever
by.
you want, like anything. And I don't know if that's trademarked, but
It's so Beats because Dre, Dr. Dre, right?
Dr. Dre, yeah, the good doctor.
PhD
he
Dre.
did, yes. He has Beats, but Beats Barre Studio, and that's what I wanted to call. I didn't want to do Beats Barre just because we're so much more than just bar, but I couldn't do Beats Studio because he has Beats.
His Beats.
Right.
I see.
What's the appropriate footwear in there?
Sneakers.
Sneaks the whole time?
Always sneaks. Yeah. I like the stability of the tennis shoe.
Yeah.
So even when you're using grippy socks or no shoes, it can slip because it can get sweaty in there.
Yeah.
And so,
Oh, for
and
sure.
especially if you're using weights, like I don't like if you drop a weight, like, I don't know. And also too, because we have the dance element, we, sometimes I would do, like if I was just back in the old days, I was like, you can wear grippy socks or no shoes when we do the bar, but then come if we're doing the signature, and then sometimes girls will come without shoes and then with shoes or whatever. So I was just decided, let's wear sneaks.
Nice. And then tell me more about the 360 concept. You literally, like, I might be facing this wall at one point, then this, and like I'm all over that.
Kind of.
Really?
Yeah. So we do 5 sets on the mat, and we work the body basically from top all the way down. And then we work it kind of like if you envision like a corkscrew does, right? And so there's so many workouts I feel like that you're just doing like front lunges or jumping jacks or bicep curls or whatever it is. And so if you look at a dancer's body, right, they have to work their body in a way like all the way around the muscle.
Yeah.
And so it strengthens the muscle in a different way. So when we're on the mat, I want to hit angles like here and to the side and underneath every nook and cranny of their bodies. Damn. I want to get, because again, like that holistic full body approach. And what I would see a lot of times from girls that were first starting with Beats is they could not lift their leg like up to the side, and they were almost like little wobbly baby giraffes. You know how like baby giraffes are like, you know, they can't. Yeah. And you realize like how much you're focusing on just big muscles like quads or hamstrings, you know, biceps, whatever it is. And there's a lot more to the body than that. Mm-hmm. And so whether you are with Beats, it's like with the method that I came up with, it was like, whether you are an athlete or whether you are a mom, whether you are a teacher, whatever it is, this workout sort of elevates your performance, whether it is in your everyday life or you're in competition. You know, so it's a great workout for athletes because it hits those accessory muscles where it helps your agility and it helps your balance, it helps your core, but it really gets, like, I don't want to use the word invasive, but because it feels like the wrong.
It gets inside.
I do it again. It does. And I think it surprises people at first. And because of the unique approach.
It sounds like I would wake up the next day and be like, oh,
yes,
those are some muscles.
I didn't even know that was there.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Soreness in weird spots. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's good. I like that. Yeah. With the group fitness certification, when you got that, is that hard to do? Like, what does that look like?
So this is back in the day, right? So,
like 1970?
No, I was not born yet. But the group certification.
What year were you born? We haven't discussed that yet.
What do you think? Oh, like, I'm gonna guess.
Well, she said older millennial.
Yeah, you have a 15-year-old, so you have to be at least 30.
Yes, I was born in 82.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was an 83 guy.
Okay. See, here we are.
I was a 94, but
we're both looking 27. I mean,
1,000%.
That's why it's hard to guess. Whereas
so
Randall,
don't listen.
Looking.
I got 47 or 48 a few times.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I would not have.
But it's because I'm more mature. And Min Lee told me that I would be. Lee told me that I would be an angry, sassy model.
Yeah. Well, you want to have a little anger. Meaning you can't always be
maybe
jovial.
passion,
yeah,
right?
You can't be jovial.
No, she said it. She said straight up anger.
Oh.
She said I'd be an angry model.
Oh.
Well, you got to be stern. No, you got to be stern in modeling. Like,
well, I don't think she was saying I'd be a good model. I think she just said I'd be an angry model. Right. But I don't know why she said that.
I took it as you want to bring out a little anger. Like you walk down the runway, you're focused, you're hitting it. You're not like laughing.
Yeah, maybe that's why she wants me to model first so bad.
Because you're so angry.
Because I'm so angry when I model.
What was the question?
Group certification.
Group certification
in the 1970s.
Listen, right, in the 70s. So it has evolved, right? But what you used to have to do was go. They would give you a book, and you would go and do a group X, and it was like American Fitness Association of America, and you would have to go. I think I went to Chapel Hill, and you spend all day, right? And but they don't tell you, and you take a test and all this stuff. But what I realized, and so I got the spin certification, I got the Pilates, I got the group fitness, and I got bar, like all of them, right? But basically, they would give you the fundamentals, but they did not sort of tell you how to teach your class. That was up to you. Now, unless this was a Les Mills thing. And do y'all remember Les Mills?
A little bit.
You know,
Oh, I've been to a step class there recently.
Okay. Oh wait, not it's like a. I don't think it's a there kind
No,
of place.
It was in Move Fitness.
No,
Okay.
they were
Okay.
doing a Les Mills
a
class.
Les Mills class.
Oh yeah, I wasn't teaching. I wasn't being trained in it. I just went to a step
Got
class.
it. Okay. So, but here's the thing: like Les Mills gives you like the workout, and they tell you what to do, and like they give you the music and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, I hate this because I wanted to have that creative creative space. I wanted to create my own workout. I want to create their own songs and all that kind of stuff. So with my girls, when they come in, obviously they have to have a dance background, but I certify them for beats, but it takes weeks and weeks and weeks.
Now,
and then they have to, and then they continue to train with me like every 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So they don't get so you want the freedom to do what you want,
Yes.
but they don't. They have
don't
to
get
follow
that.
the
No.
plan.
Nope.
They have to follow
I
the
know
plan.
it's a good way to do it.
Did you grow up with like your mom watching Richard Simmons, like VHSs?
You know, I would say it was Jane Fonda.
Oh, Jane Fonda.
Yeah. Oh, the Thigh Master too.
Yes.
Remember?
And then Chuck Norris on the, I don't even remember what the machine was, but it
Oh,
was-
the Body by Jake.
yeah.
Right. There
Yes,
was a
I think
Body
he
by
was selling that.
Jake. Yeah, all the stuff. No, she was pretty active, but did a little bit of her. She was a school teacher. I mean, she was a
But she was sweating to the
principal.
oldies at one
Oh, for
point.
sure.
And you were watching as a kid thinking, this is my dream.
You know, I have a picture. When I was 6 years old, maybe 5 or 6, I wanted to do the Get in Shape Girl
Yeah.
stuff, and so like I have a picture. I have like the whole aerobics stuff on. I was
Headband,
like,
wristbands.
when it was born. No, but I've been dancing since I was like 3 years old.
Is anybody wearing headbands and wristbands nowadays for sweat?
I'm gonna try to bring it back.
Get some Beats
know,
wristbands
I know.
to
I'm
just
thinking
dab
about
the
it.
forehead.
I think my dad still wears that. headband.
My dad used to wear a headband. So my dad
I
ran
can see it.
and ran.
Kelly.
Yes,
He
and
for
wear that
sure.
sweatband.
Oh, man. Yeah. For
Especially
sure.
when he plays squash. He
Yeah,
wears it.
that's a perfect. I mean, that's where I would envision that being worn.
It's all performance based. There's a point when you get older where you
Yeah.
just care more about
Comfort and
performance than how you
performance.
look.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's sweat gonna roll into your eyes. Let me throw a sweat headband up.
Right. And that's even when I started. So I've run one full marathon in my life,
Me too.
and it was
Just
rough.
horrible. I will never do it again.
But there is something when you're saying mentally
Mm-hmm.
you figure something out. Like there would be things at mile 20 that I was like, I've been working on this for years and I finally know what to do or I finally get it. But it sucks that you have to run for 5.5 hours to get it.
I remember thinking like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Why am I doing
The
this?
whole time.
And your thigh
all
chafe,
you can
the
think. yes.
chafe.
But that's where I stopped caring so much. Which
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did care before, but I still wore weird stuff.
yeah.
But that's when I was like,
It
I
really
care
matter.
more about not being chafed and injured than
Mm-hmm,
how I look. And I got wide-footed,
Foot.
Yeah.
wide-footed
yeah, that's
shoes
you have
that
to get
were
a wide toe
comfortable.
box.
Yeah.
You know. Yes. No, I remember my first half that I ran, it was Kiwa. And I saw these women like lubing themselves up in the bathroom. And I was like, what is happening? I'm like way out of my comfort zone here. What is this?
You asked to borrow
And then I was like, should I?
Hey, what are you guys doing? Can I join?
Hey, can I get in on this? No, but I learned very quickly about the stuff.
What is
Chafing.
the right lube?
I think it's just called Body Glide.
You
You
gotta
don't
be
need it at
careful,
Beats.
yeah.
You don't need it at Beats. And I don't think you should run any more than 3 miles. Like I really don't. I really don't
agree.
because like after 3, it's really starts that wear and tear on your body.
Yeah.
And your body kind of adjusts to it. And so
Right.
I think the benefits, in my opinion, it stops kind of after 3.
Yeah.
Why did you decide 3 and not 4?
Because after 3, like your body, so the first 10 minutes of a workout, your body's energy sources, like they switch.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's like you sort of go into your endurance mode. And so when at 3 miles, it's like you're getting the benefits of the calorie burn, of the endorphin rush. But after that, and depending on like if you're in a treadmill, if you're outside or whatever it is, like that stuff with
Hard
your
on the
knees and
knees.
your back. My dad was a runner and had 3 back surgeries after. And so that played into it too. I thought, I just don't think this is that good.
The benefits of running are mental, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
Because there is something that happens that nobody understands until they've actually done it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's over 13 miles to get there, in my opinion. I think it starts at 17.
I think it hurts at 1.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not fun.
No, but there's like a thing
Yeah.
that you tap into, you know?
Yeah.
You know that moment when you do more than you
Yes.
think you can do and you're
Yeah.
proud of yourself, but also
Absolutely.
something else open. You have access to it's like climbing a new peak or a new mountain
Yeah.
higher.
Absolutely.
But I mean, I still don't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But once a year, I think it's nice to do something like that once a year.
Yeah, sure. But maybe like climb a mountain or I
Yes.
don't know, something.
We have 2 friends. For his 60th birthday, he did a triple marathon mountain hike 3 days in a row, 26 miles. 60.
Just silly though.
Yeah. Do y'all
Why?
follow Jesse Itzler?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he does.
That's
he
their
talks
motivation.
about-
So they're obsessed with
Yes.
him. He's their motivation.
He's great. Yeah. And he and his wife both, like Sarah Blakely, and she is awesome because she's so an out of the box thinker. And when I started Beats, I was nervous because I didn't have a blueprint, right? I didn't buy a franchise that had you do it like this, you
Right.
do this, and here's how to be successful. And when there was something that she said when she started Spanx and how she still trains her employees, it's like, if no one told you how to do your job, how would you do your job?
Right.
And so where it's a lot of trial and error, and I would say definitely I've made plenty of mistakes, but you learn from them. And I think it's more rewarding, when you learn to do it the right way on your own, instead of like, it's this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good.
I think, yeah. I go back and forth on that too, because there is value in learning it the hard way. But I also
Yes.
find that whenever we have new people that start with us or new chiropractors, they have this idea. They're like, we need to do this. I know it's going to work.
Right.
And I'm like, I promise you I've tried that
Yeah.
every single way. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Just do something.
But
new.
that's totally, don't you think that's different though? Like that's serious stuff. Like when you're talking about your back and
Yeah, well, not so much that, not so much that stuff. More like they want to throw an event, so they want to do a
Health workshop.
a healthy heart workshop, or a back to school drive, or some sort of fitness, like something that they wanted to do all together, and then they would be like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do one post on social media. 50 people are gonna show up, and it's gonna be great. I think you need more than one post. They'd be like, no. Once people see it, they're going to show up. I'm like,
yeah.
they need reminders. They need phone calls. They need one-on-one interaction. They need to know what they're doing, what time it starts. They need swag. There's a lot of things that go into it,
Yeah.
But I do think Sarah Blakely thinks that's. I mean, Spanx is kind of. What's your take on Spanx?
following.
Do you think everybody should be wearing
my
Spanx?
gosh.
Nobody.
Okay, so
Are there men's Spanx?
I think there are men's Spanx, but I don't think, she sold Spanx.
Yeah.
But I think she's still, I'm not sure. But I think if you're talking about like the original Spanx, but she has like a whole empire now of like clothes and, comfy sweatshirts. She's all about comfort.
Do you have any classic workout lines that you say almost at every class? Or
gosh.
like a
that's
routine?
good.
I'm sure the girls, I really try not to talk so much. And I also tell the girls, because like a bad instructor will ruin a class, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so you want to be motivational, but not annoying.
Right.
And you want to be, you don't want to talk too much, but we also have to count down. So I'm constantly counting with those
And
the
5,
8 count.
6, 7, 8.
we count back.
Oh, that's going up.
So how many reps that we do,
I
we
gotcha.
count it down. So I'll always be like, you got this. Or I'll be like, we're almost there. Or, yes, of course, like but I try not to be like, you can do it. I'll be like, you got it. And I'll try to make eye contact because like I'll see him struggling. And
Through the mirror, or do you turn around and just blaze?
no,
them
I
with
do.
your
No,
eyes?
I don't turn around. I don't turn around. I like, but a lot of girls sometimes like they don't want me to call their name or
Right.
whatever. They don't want to be followed, and I understand that. So I just try to like make eye contact and be like,
Yeah.
yeah, just a few more. We're almost there.
Nice.
So-
Do you get up? Like, do you get up and work with them on certain things or no?
I used to, and sometimes I do, but again, it calls attention to them in class, and I don't think they like.
Right.
A lot of girls don't like that. If I see them doing something so where their hips are turned out and they need to be parallel, I'll try to make sure I say, hips in line with your shoulders, or turn and stack your hips. And I'll, again, try to make eye contact so that they know that I'm talking to them, but like not everybody knows that I'm talking to them. And if I see them do something that I think might hurt them, I have gone over and, put my hands on them or whatever. But as a rule, I usually don't do that. But I'll try to like catch them, afterwards and be like, hey, this was, but it's only if they were doing it in a way that was going to hurt themselves. But definitely, like, your results are in the details of the class, honestly, because we hit those accessory muscles in there. And there's a reason that I want their foot flexed or their toe pointed. And it's because the way that we're working the muscle at that point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
what about hair grease? Randy's really big on his instructors not having a ton of hair grease.
Yeah. You can wear a hat. You can just ponytail. I have dry shampoo in the bathroom.
Dry shampoo?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that is true.
It's like one of
I've
those
had
things.
a lot of fitness instructors, their hair they just didn't wash their hair for so long, and it grossed me out.
Long.
He just wants a regimen.
If you are in the fitness world, dry shampoo is your best friend.
Yep.
For sure.
And that just literally works like you just put it in with no
Well,
water.
I mean, if I'm, it works in a pinch, right? So like, it's not a replacement to, shampoo your hair, but it gets you through the day.
Right.
Like sometimes I'll have to teach a double. So like I'll do an 8:45 and then a noon. And so like, I'll go in there and like kind of freshen up and spray the dry shampoo and
like, could I go a week with just dry shampooing?
No,
really?
No.
That's what I think people were doing.
Oh, that concerns him.
I would say no more than 2 days, 3 days.
You might make that a policy for your instructors.
They look great. Their hair looks great. It is not a problem.
What does it look like if someone's just doing such an exceptional workout job? Like, let's say that I was hitting all the moves perfectly.
Yes.
Oh, Betty, you're hitting it today.
What?
I would be like,
I
would be like, y'all look so good, and I'll be like, Sarah, that is perfect, like perfect form.
Randy,
like,
you're way stronger than I thought you would be.
No, I try to like give them accolades where if I feel like they're receptive to it, absolutely.
Yeah.
What's your love language? Is it words of affirmation?
I like
Gifts, acts of service,
Physical touch.
all of them.
Really?
Yes, I like all. I'm a 7. Everything.
That's the weird
I
one.
like.
Anyone who
all
gives
of
that
it.
answer is a red flag.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure.
I really like it.
I like
I
all of
do.
them.
How can I make you feel loved? Well, you
Well,
can
and everyone
do things
again,
for
back
me,
to
buy
Roland's
me
bucket
stuff.
being. He's like, I'm helping you every way I can.
All right, last couple questions.
Yep.
What do you ever like? What's the vision for the studio? Have you thought much? I mean, I know we're in year 1, so I don't want to go crazy, but
Absolutely.
do you see this? Do you want to have multiple? Do you want to grow the space? Do you want to add trampolines?
No trampolines. So again, everything has happened organically. So when I first started this as a class at the YMCA, it was I really owning a studio honestly really was a dream. Just because that has been achieved doesn't mean it's like been easy or an easy road or anything like that. So where I would love to own. My husband is like really is super entrepreneurial because he'll be like, okay, we're going to open this next studio here in 2 years and you need to have this amount of growth and blah, blah, blah. And then, we can sell it and it'll be a franchise and all that kind of things. With me, I really want to focus on the day to day because I want to make sure, again, that quality over quantity and making sure that the girls are getting what they need, both my instructors, my Beats girls, my clients, that we're doing that. And then out of that, if if that happens, that will be great. And I would love that. And so I think that's the goal, but I'm not so focused on, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line that I forget like the details of the day to day.
Nice. That's good. And then how did you meet Roland? And do you have any nicknames for him, or does he have any nicknames for you? Like Pookie.
Mayor. Mayor is what.
Mayor Bear?
No.
No, Bear.
No.
Really?
So, but I do have a nickname, but he didn't give it to me. It's Possum. And it was from my PC days. So I went to the Masters on Sunday when I was 20. But the night before was Pike Hawaiian.
Yeah.
And so it was like late night, early morning situation. And so my date, the guy that I was with, he said, he came back. He was like, I'm going to get us some sandwiches, whatever. And he came back, and I was laying on the ground with my mouth wide open. He was like, you looked like a dead possum at the Masters on Sunday.
Wow.
And he told everyone, and everyone was like, well, her name's Possum. So that's her name. So my college friends still call me that. And I still sleep with my mouth open. And my kids do too. It's weird. It's kind of funny because it's like a hereditary thing. It has to be. But we actually met. He went to Presbyterian, but we didn't date. He transferred to USC after his freshman year. And we met again through our mutual friend, Lindsay Spires Griffin, at a Delaney's pint night, like on a Wednesday night.
Nice.
And
Just
so
a couple.
we sort of reconnected, and she was like, hey, you know that guy behind us? Roland Trout. He went to PC with us. And I was like, oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess.
Oh, he's cute.
And he, and so I was actually there with like a whole kind of I was sort of dating this guy. But then anyway, he left. And then Roland got in his seat and was like, what's
nice.
up? And I was
Sup,
like,
baby
what's
girl?
up? And so, and it was, after that, it was
Magical.
all the way.
Yeah.
That's great.
Great.
Good
Love
for
hearing
Roland.
that.
Roland knows. It's just right place, right time.
But Roland is funny. He's a recovering Baptist, and he said, I never was going to go back to the Baptist church after he said, they always told me I wouldn't meet my future wife in a bar. And he was like, and there she was.
There it is.
Perfect. And a preacher's. Hey, if you want to find a preacher's daughter, you go to the bar. That's where they are.
Yes.
Well, thank you for being on the show.
You're
That was a
welcome.
blast. Anyone who wants to reach out to you, should they do it by Instagram, webpage?
So we have a webpage, beatsbarrestudio.com, and Beats Instagram. Send me a DM. And you can book your classes at Beats through the MindBody app.
MindBody. What is the website? And then what's the address again?
So it's just beatsbarrestudio.com. Yep. And
Address is 1835
Gervais Street, and we are Suite C. And make sure you park in the Beats parking spots.
Perfect. All right. Thanks for listening.
Thank y'all.
Here
We're here for the health of it.
for the health of it.